Hey guys, Wade here. Welcome back to WW Gaming. Today I'm going to be reviewing a game called Prey. So Prey came out 3 days ago. I rented it. I basically binged it for 2 straight days. Played about roughly 16 hours of it. Got a lot of the upgrades. Saw pretty much almost all there is to see. Not quite everything. But I definitely spent a significant amount of time with the game to, report to you, review it. So this is my review. So Prey is a very interesting game. It's a sci-fi thriller. You awaken on this spacecraft. It's basically a space station called Talos 1. I really like the story in this game. I like how they did like an alternate history. It's imagine if JFK never got assassinated and the United States, space exploration program basically just took off obviously a lot faster than it did in real life. So I like the alternate history path that they took with this, making it, really interesting. And you play a big part in this history. You are part of an experiment, basically, and a very important experiment. And you basically, you awaken on this spacecraft. You have no idea what's going on. You have to find out through all these different, videos and audio logs that you find. And it turns out, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is a really nice surprise kind of at the beginning that you will definitely appreciate. So on the spacecraft, much like obviously Alien behind me, that's why I have it displayed, because it reminds me of a lot of Alien. There's all kind of these weird aliens on this spacecraft that you find out, and you have to basically combat them with various types of guns. There's also various kinds of powers that you discover that you can attain. So you have to go up against all these types of aliens, and I really like the design of the aliens. Sort of reminds me of something you'd see in Resident Evil. Not quite as extreme, but I really like the enemy design here. A lot of people ask if this game is scary, and I would say not really, honestly. This game relies a lot on jump scares, especially at the beginning, and it sort of just wears out its welcome as the game progresses, and, after a while, you know what enemies are what, and you know what to expect from them, and you pretty much know how to eliminate them. So the game starts out a little scary, I guess, but then as time goes on, not so scary. Now, like I said, this game reminds me a lot of Alien. It reminds me a lot of Deus Ex, just like as you can see behind me. And the game reminds me a little bit of Dishonored, and it's probably because Arcane Studios. This game was made by Arcane and Bethesda, which, obviously made Dishonored and Dishonored 2, which are also fantastic games. So this game, the controls feel a lot like Dishonored, and you can tell that the character designs are also like Dishonored. This game has a very creepy atmosphere. Talos 1 is a very, creepy place. You see all these dead bodies everywhere. Very rarely would you ever see a human on this spacecraft. I especially like the neuromods, which are things that you find that allow you to upgrade. You can upgrade various weapons. You can upgrade various parts of your suit. There's a lot of different things you can do with the neuromods, which definitely, make the upgrade system very rewarding. With the neuromods, you can definitely, up your game. You can upgrade your hacking, you can upgrade your health, you can upgrade your various abilities, obviously the weapons and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of things that you can do with the neuromods, and neuromods are pretty much things that you find throughout the spacecraft. And surprisingly, they're actually kind of hard to come by, which makes it even more rewarding when you get them. I also like the idea of dismantling weapons that you can find. There's a neuromod that allows you to dismantle things that you find. Like if you find several of the same weapon, like several shotguns, several pistols, several bows. You can basically just pick them up. If you don't want them, dismantle them. And I also like the recycling system. There's these little recycling areas on the spacecraft that you can go to. To basically just put all your junk in there, and it basically recycles it. And it gives you things that you can use towards upgrades. Along with the main story, there are side quests, but there's not very many of them. I like the freedom to do the side quests, but at the same time, they're just kind of there. There's not really any incentive to go, on these side quests. I mean, they're completely optional, so it's okay not to do them, but like I said, there's not really that much of an incentive to do them anyways. They add a little bit to the story, but it's really not enough to, honestly care very much. So yes, Prey has great atmosphere. It's creepy. It's fun to upgrade all of your stuff. It is a very exhilarating experience running from enemies. you know, finding new things, just progressing through the story. But at the same time, the game does have some downsides. There are several difficulty levels, but I will say, if you're a beginner, if you're a beginning gamer, even normal mode is going to give you a little bit of trouble because you're kind of just thrown into the story. You don't really have that many upgrades. You know, it's kind of difficult at the beginning because there are still some pretty solid enemies, and you will die several times on normal mode. But once you get past a certain point in the game, you know, you'll be upgraded enough to where it's not going to be that big of a deal. My other complaint with this game is the jump scares. They're just too frequent, and they wear out their welcome way too early. So I feel like that, you know, they could have really added some more horror, you know, aside from these you know, cheap jump scares. Overall, I really like Prey. I do. I like Prey a lot. I love Dishonored, Dishonored 2. I love those games. This game is along the same lines. It's a very quality production, great visuals. You know, the upgrade systems are cool. The enemies are nice. The story is actually really good. The characters are interesting. What characters there are, there's not many, but the ones that you do see are interesting. I like the just the alternate history of the game. It's really cool to see that. And this is a very, you know, yes, it is familiar. It is like Alien. It is like, you know, maybe like Deus Ex a little bit, but it kind of uses the best of those things, and it kind of tries to use it to its advantage. But overall, I like Prey. I recommend it. I think it's worth the price of admission at $60. You're going to get about 25 hours out of this game. So I think that's worth it. And I'm going to give Prey a 4 out of 5. Guys, thanks for watching my review of Prey. Did you like it? Do you love it? Do you not like it at all? Do you think it could have done so many things better? Leave your comments below. Let me and everyone else know what you think of the game. And until next time, peace.